Hi, in this video I'm going to show you how to simplify expressions that has square root, cube roots, like that. Okay, so the basic idea is you want to write the square root in the simplest form, meaning that if you can take some numbers out, you try to do that first and then you add and subtract the remaining thing. Okay, so on the first example you have negative 8, and what are the factors of 12? It will be 2 times 2 times 3, right? 2 times 2 times 4 times 3 is 12, and then plus there is square root of 3. Okay, so you can see that since there is a pair of two same numbers multiplied each other, and since it is under the root sign, you can take one of those out, so it will be negative 8 times 2 out. So what is left inside? It is square root of 3 and then plus square root of 3. So what do you get? So negative 8 times 2 is negative 16 square root of 3 and then plus square root of 3. So how much is that? It is like negative 16. There are negative 16 square root of 3 that has a negative sign, but there is one positive square root of 3. It will be negative 15 square root of 3. Okay, similarly in example 2 you see that square root of 8 can be written as 2 times 2 times 2 under the root sign, and then minus there is cube root those factor 3 times 3 times 3. Okay, and then plus 3 square root of 2. Okay, so this is square root, right? So let me write down equals to, this is square root. So from this pair you can take outside one of them outside, so I took that 2 out, and this does not have pair, so it will stay inside, minus this is the cube root, so you will need pair of 3, right? Oh yeah, there is pair of 3, so you can take that 3 out. Okay, plus this is in the simplest form, you cannot take anything outside, so it will be 3 square root of 2. This is equals to, so see there is 2 square root of 3 and then there is 2 square root of 3 and then plus 3 square root of 3, that will be 5 square root of 3 and then minus 3. That's it. Okay, so this is the solution for the answer for the second problem. Now how about example number 3? So here this is basically 7 times 7 is square root of 49 plus, what are the factors of 18? You can see that 18 is 2 times 2, 18 is basically 2 times 9 and then 9 is 3 times 3, so it will be 2 times 3 times 3, right? So 2 times and then 3 times 3 minus cube root. So what are the factors of 8? 2 times 2 times 2. Okay, now let's see that since these two are the square root, you need a pair to take one outside, so it will be equals to 7, and then from these two 3's you can take plus 3 outside, but this square root of 2 will still be in, this 2 will be still under the root because it does not have any pair. Okay, minus, so since this is cube root, it will need pair of 3 to take one out, so this is pair of 3, so you can write just negative 2. Okay, so what is the final answer then? There is 7 minus 2 is 5 and then plus 3 square root of 2. All right, let's do example number 4. In example number 4 you have to multiply. When you multiply the square roots, what happens? Okay, so what we do is we multiply the things outside, that is 3 times 2 is basically 6, and then write a single square root, and there is 6 is 2 times 3 and then there is 2. So instead of 2 square roots, you just write one single square root and then you write the factors of all the number under the root. So since this is the square root, say this is the square root, and this 2 has a pair there, so you can take one of those out, so it will be 6 times this, instead of those two 2's you can take one of the 2 outside, and then the 3 is still inside, so it is basically 12 square root of 3 is the final answer. Okay, how about this one? So this is the product of two numbers, and the other is there are two numbers, right? So these are the products, so you need to use FOIL. So first to the first to the second, like that. So it is square root of 3 times square root of 3 will be square root of 3 times 3, and square root of 3 times negative square root of 2 is square root of 3 times 2. Okay, and how about that one? Plus 1 times square root of 3 is square root of 3, and then minus 1 times square root of 2 is minus square root of 2. Okay, so how much is this? Because since this is the square root and this has pair of two same numbers, so you can write just one number instead of those two. And this is minus square root of 6, this is plus square root of 3, and this is minus square root of 2. That's it. That's what we can do here. Okay, now let's see the last example. So there is cube root. So what are the factors of 16? Okay, let me show you that. 16 is 2 times 8, and 8 is 2 times 4, and then 4 is 2 times 2. It is 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. So it will be 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. And also, what are the factors of x to the 4? It is x times x times x times x, and then there is times y. Let's find out the factors of this one. Oh, so this is already in the simplest form, cube root of 2 times x times y. So you cannot take anything out here, right? So how about the last one? Plus 5, and then cube root is there. There is 2 times x times y to the 4th is basically y times y times y times y times y times y times y. Okay, now let's simplify that. Since this is the cube root, we need pair of 3 same thing multiplied together. So let me group those 3 things multiplied together there, and then instead of those you can take one, you can write one outside. Okay, so it is 2 and then x and then cube root of 2y, basically 2xy. Okay, 2xy minus, that is 3x cube root of 2xy. And how about the last one? Plus 5y, and then cube root of, because see, from these 3 y's you can write that y outside. So cube root of 2xy. Okay, so can you add or subtract? Because there is 2x cube root of 2xy, and then minus 2x cube root of 2xy minus 3x cube root of 2xy, but it has 5y, so this is unlike to these two, right? So how do you write that? So your final answer will be negative x cube root of 2xy, and then plus 5y cube root of 2xy.